Good morning, my TLC family. It's Dalton Bennett here. Once again, the Car Bros are here representing you. We're just going to do some work, what I consider to be light work on my truck over here. I'm going to be replacing the rear rotors and possibly the brakes if they're in a bad condition. I suspect they're not, but the rear rotors for sure, because I bought some new ones and I just want to put them in. Usually I'd be doing this with my partner in sweat, my brother in sweat, John. Unfortunately today he's not feeling so good, he's feeling a little bit under the weather, but we send him our well wishes and wish that he recovers quickly from his situation with no lasting ill effect. So I'm going to list to you all the things that we're going to need. I'm going to walk you through a step of some of the things that we're going to do. We're going to first of all remove the wheels, and then we're going to have to remove the brake calipers, and actually first we're going to have to jack the car up, remove the wheels and remove the calipers and reinstall the new calipers, and then yeah, we'll go step by step and show you how that's done. So come join me, let's get dirty. Okay, so some of the tools, well, all the tools I'm going to need for the work ahead. First of all, I need my trusty jack stand. They have to be rated for the weight of your vehicle, and I think these are rated for 3 tons. So my truck is 3.5 tons, but it's not all in the back. It's split between the 4 wheels, so a 3-ton jack stand should be enough to bring that truck up. My brake parts, if I need it. A bottle jack, it's a lot more efficient than the one that's in the truck, makes the work so much easier. My trusty, I just picked this up, my new very powerful impact wrench. So you can see that makes the work so much easier. And my new brake rotors, very heavy. Okay, and then of course my torque wrench. You always need one of these. Torque wrench, a breaker bar for breaking stubborn nuts, and an extension to my ratchet for that leverage when you're putting things back together. So these are all the things that I'm going to need right now. So first thing we're going to do is unpack the jack stands and go ahead and jack the car up. So what I've just done, folks, is I've jacked the car up and I've put the jack stand in place as you saw there, and then I released the pressure on the jack so that the axle is resting on the jack stand and not on the jack, because hydraulic jacks can fail. So you always want to use a jack stand to make sure that if the jack fails, it rests on that jack stand and not on top of you, because that's not good. And you didn't see this before, but I went ahead and chopped the wheel up front on the opposite side of the car of this one so that it can't roll forward when I'm working on the tire. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the hubcap, and then I'm going to take the wheel off. We're going to see what condition the brake's in, and remove those rotors and put the new ones on. All right, let's hope this is done in maybe an hour. Okay, so as you can see, this is what I'm going to be removing, this right here. So to do that, I have to remove all of this and pull some nuts from behind there to get her out. And based on how hard the wheel was to come off, this might be a little bit tough. So here we go. Okay folks, we're back, and as I looked at the brake as I showed you earlier, I realized that it's pretty chewed up. It's gone through so much. This is what a brand new brake shoe looks like. That's the thickness. So you can see that I had maybe about a year left in this, so I don't want to take a chance, so I'm going to change it with this brake. So I have my trusty assistant here, the Mass Bandit, and he's going to be assisting me from this point forward. Miss you, buddy, John. Wish you were here. So what we need now, we need to push this piston back in, and for that my trusty C-clamp will do. What I usually do is I use an older brake to put like that in there. Can you see that? Okay. And I open up my C-clamp. Oh, another thing, to do this correctly, you have to release the pressure on the brake cylinder. So I'm gonna have to go into the hood of the car and uncap the brake reservoir. Again, I wasn't planning to do a brake job, I was just planning to change the rotors, but it seems like a brake job is due. So I'm gonna go and do that reservoir. So right now it's under pressure from the brake system, so I'm gonna go ahead and release that pressure by opening this and just leaving it on there, because when I push that piston back in, it's gonna push the fluid back up. Okay, so now we're going to push that piston back with the C-clamp. So you just turn it, wait till the pressure releases, turn it again, wait till the pressure releases, just do like that until the piston goes all the way back in. Now your rear brake doesn't do a lot of work. Your rear brake takes up about 40% of the work of stopping your vehicle. So your rear brakes can last up to 2 years. I generally do them every year, but as I showed you before, this is what the front looks almost like it's brand new. But the back, the ones that are on that side there, were about about 3/4 the size of the brake. So obviously these were I don't know, they probably were stuck to the rotor and was always under friction. So what I'm going to do right now is use some anti-seize to make sure that these can slide. So you know what, I don't know if you know, but this, you can pick this up at your Canadian Tire, Walmart. It's just a silicone-based metal liquid that allows your brake parts to slide freely without seizing up. I apply it to both ends of this and to the channels here. Okay, so now we're installing our caliper. You didn't see this earlier, but with these particular brakes, you have to do some prep on the backside of the brake shoe, because they have these metal studs that come out. They're about 2/8 of an inch out, and what they do is they're to hold the friction material on, but they get in the way of the cylinder, the brake cylinder. So I had to go upstairs and grind them down flat to prepare them. It's just a thing because this is how they make the ceramic brakes for this car, and I prefer to use ceramic versus the metal mix. All right, so this part we can do by hand. Okay folks, so that's it, the work's finished. We've replaced both the brake rotor and the brake pads. We've reinstalled the wheel, and I'm gonna go underneath there and take the jack out and put the car back down, torque the nuts up to the required torque specification for this car, and that would be pretty much it. That's an hour out of my Saturday just to do this. I've just saved myself at least $500 doing this all myself. So yeah, and once again, I just want to give a big shout out to John and Joan Lawlor, wishing them a speedy recovery, and looking forward to doing some more work with John on his car on mine on Car Bros for TLC.